be a contender in the Cup Series, you know, to finally get to victory lane, it just is a dream come true for me. I've travelled halfway around the world and dragged my kids and my wife with me, and I kept telling them I was good, but you know, until you can win in the Cup Series, you can't really put that stamp on it. And I've tried 2.5 years now to get to victory lane, and I just have to thank Todd for giving me the chance. We're getting on great as a team. We're all blending well. We understand each other. We're good friends and have respect for each other. And it's very important when you get days like this where you can rely on. I can rely on Todd to make good judgment calls on the box, and he can rely on me to go out there and do my job.
Ambrose's winning performance makes him the 4th foreign-born driver to win a race in NASCAR Cup Series history, joining Colombia's Juan Pablo Montoya, Italy's Mario Andretti, and Canada's Earl Ross. With 3 previous Nationwide Series wins, all at the Glen, Ambrose's 4 National Series wins are the 2nd most in NASCAR history, trailing Ron Fellows. And guys, we've seen flashes of brilliance out of this guy before. Was there ever a doubt he'd win a Cup race?
No, there was not a doubt he's going to win a Cup race, and I really did expect it to happen at the Glen or out in California on the other road course. Look, today's race was his Daytona 500. He expected himself to win, and a lot of guys did too. Although I was a little bit nervous when he kind of got himself back in the field, and right at the very end, it looks like Kyle Busch was going to win that thing, but that caution came out, and that really saved him.
He's been so good at Watkins Glen. He's won in the Nationwide Series, but still yet, the talk in the garage area, even my son told me, he said, Dad, nobody's got anything for Marcus Ambrose. He's going to win this race. He was right.
His son works on a race team, he knows.
But you know, what I appreciated about how this thing ended is the way that Marcus won the race. I mean, he didn't knock the guy out of the way to win the race. This has gone on a while. The expectations of Marcus winning have gone back a few years. So he's had to sort of restrain himself, and late in the race, he sets up Brad Keselowski perfectly and executes a perfect pass in the right place and wins the race. I'm very happy for this.
Let's talk about that restart. Obviously a critical moment in this race, the deciding factor. You've been there. You know how much pressure there is, how little room, I should say, there is for error. That restart, what did you see out of it?
Well, what I saw was just Kyle Busch settle in there pretty hot and just lock up the brakes and slide off the course. And you got to remember, this is late in the race. The brakes are in their very worst condition at that particular point. Kyle Busch is low on fuel, the tires are worn out, but he had one last shot to hold on to the car. And he said to us in the interview afterwards, man, the thing I didn't want to do, I did, and that was slide off the course. So it was a tough call.
Well, you have to remember, when Marcus was in Sonoma, he was leading that race. Cut the switch off to save fuel, the engine wouldn't refire. It cost him that event. So I guess you got to lose one to maybe win one.
You know, there's a lot of pressure associated with what you just described, right? That redemption, feeling like you owe the team, or it's a different team, but you know, you owe the world an explanation, and you got to back it up on the track. He did that. Again, he didn't make any mistakes. And the biggest thing is when Kyle overdrove turn 1, it would have been easy for him to push the issue with Brad and Kyle, and he was in the middle. But he didn't. He waited until he had his opportunity, which was turn 5, and he capitalized on it.
You mentioned redemption. What about validation? We heard Juan Pablo Montoya say after his road course victories, he still wants to win on an oval. Does Ambrose still need to win on an oval to be considered a true competitor, a true favorite each week?
The most important thing from a competitor standpoint is what you heard from Marcus Ambrose. I won a Sprint Cup Series race. Okay, that's objective number 1. Now he can shift his focus to winning on an oval. That's secondary. He's a winner now. That makes a big difference, and the win will be to his back. He'll benefit from this as it relates to his confidence.
Well, I agree with everything Ricky said, but I will tell you, in his head, he's thinking, okay, I felt as though I could win on a road course, and I did win on a road course. And I told my family that I'm good. Now I got to prove it again, and I do have to win on an oval to really get everything done, because a lot of people are looking at him to win on an oval now. And you know what? He's good enough to do it, too.
Well, we'll hear what Marcos has to say about the victory later in the show when we speak with him. Still plenty to come here on the show. Don't go away. Was Monday's race the wild card within the wild card? See why Watkins Glen put some new twists in this ever-changing wild card picture. It's a long time in the making, but Marcos Ambrose finally got to victory lane in a Cup race. We'll hear from the winner about what Monday's win meant to him.
Ambrose again digs to the bottom. Keselowski slips. Here is Ambrose to the bottom of the racetrack. Side by side for the lead off of turn number 5.
Oh, big crash in turn number 2. David Ruderman. Caution is out. Race is over. Marcos Ambrose is your winner.
Marcos Ambrose is on his way to a first career win here today in the hell of a good sour cream dips at the Glen.
With us now is the winner from Watkins Glen, Marcos Ambrose. Marcos, congratulations. What does this mean to you?
Just a huge day for me. I mean, the sacrifices we all make to be who we are. I've travelled with my family halfway around the world to be a Sprint Cup driver. To finally get to victory lane, it's just a dream come true. I just have to dedicate this win to the King and Mrs. Petty. Mrs. Petty's having a tough time at home right now. I hope she gets well soon, and I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to get me here on behalf of Stanley, Ford, DeWalt, everybody else involved in the 9 program. Just a great day for us, and I never thought I'd be standing here talking about how I won a Watkins Glen Sprint Cup race.
Well, I think there's a lot of folks out there who never had a doubt. I want to get back to something you just alluded to, the sacrifices you've made along the way. I know there have been some bumps in the road. What's the journey been like for you to get to this point?
Oh, it's been a roller coaster, no doubt. I thought I was pretty good before I came to America and got humbled incredibly quickly. The talent in NASCAR is supreme. Today's race was a great example of that. Just some fantastic road races, a fight to the bitter end, and we're sacrificing all the time. And just today, for example, it's my young daughter's first day at school, and she wanted me to take her there. And of course, we're here on a rain delay Monday, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But it's a good compromise to win a race versus have a cranky kid when I get back there. I had to buy her a new doll or something to make up for it. But everyone behind me to make me who I am today, sacrifices the team does, the personnel, all the families involved, Stanley as well. I mean, they committed to me. They took a chance on me to get them to victory lane for the first time. It's just great to finally say we did it. Now we can relax. It's like almost a relief, a big weight off the shoulders to say we've done it once, we can do it again.
Let's talk about the race here. It seemed like you had a great race car all day long, certainly put yourself in a position to win. That caution late in the race, that set up that restart, how did that change things for you?
Yeah, well, I had to come from, I think it was like 10th maybe, after the strategy was playing out and everyone was on the same fuel load to the end. So I burnt my brakes up pretty good, getting to Kyle, and then I was, using the gearbox up pretty good too. So I had one shot at him, couldn't make the pass. So I was trying to cool everything down to give me another shot before the race was going to finish. Not sure I could have done it. Kyle was really driving that car hard and just a great road racer. He was really hustling around there, and it was going to be tough for me. When the caution came out, I was actually happy about it. It gave me a chance to cool everything down. And then, on those last restarts, starting on the outside, I knew I was going to be in trouble. I was trying to find a hole to get in behind Kyle because I knew he was going to just, outbrake himself, which he did. But thankfully, I got through turn 1, made a couple of, strong moves and got through Brad there after the bus stop and got the win. So just a great day for us. When it's like that at the end of the race, you just got to take your chances and hope it works out.
As you know as well as anybody, these things aren't over until the checkered flag finally waves. You've been in situations before where it seemed like victory was inevitable, but it did go away. That said, what were your thoughts in those closing laps as you had the lead and it appeared to be your race to lose?
It was like this: don't choke at the end, because it's just tough to win these races. There's so much pressure on me to win. The first win for Stanley, the first win for Richard Petty Motorsports after the rebirth of the company, and my first win. All these things are going through my head, and all I want to do is don't choke. And until I saw the checkered flag, I thought, man, are they going to make another green-white checker or something? I mean, did we really reach the white flag? Because I just didn't really know what was going on, and it's sinking in now. But it'll take a few days, no doubt. But it's a proud day for all of us over here on the 9 team.
And with the win, you put yourself at least in the conversation for the wild card, but it would certainly seem to make that a reality, you probably need another win. As you look at the final 4 regular season races, where do you see your best opportunity?
You just got to win. You set it dead on. I don't really care about the points so much. We're not out of the chase. We know that, but we can't do anything unless we're running top 10 and challenging for wins here for the last 4. So you never know. We're going to give it our best shot and dedicate ourselves to it. Todd Parrott, is running a great team on the as far as the crew chief side goes. All the team's pretty pumped up, and we're all working well together. We're all good friends. There's no reason we can't come out in these next 4 races and surprise the field.
Well, Marcos, a feel-good win for everybody, I think. Congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it, Mike.